uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom!
Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushka. Today's video is about positions. I'm going to do a video actually today. It's just about the hill on Castilla, and I think it deserves its own video because I'm so sick of people not doing the hill on Castilla and losing the game for me. This is an older video I've just put on here, but if you want to see how this game ends, go to the end, and I'll put it on at the very end, and you can have a great time, all right? And just enjoy yourself on me. Remember to like the video and subscribe. And if you have positions that you think are really important in Blitz or are excellent positions for farming it, and I don't want the glitches, I don't want the getting pushed up the hill by a mouse, like I don't want any of that, getting a whole team to conga line you. I'm not interested. I want real positions that work in Blitz. And I know a lot of them, but you never know. You learn something every day, and I certainly do, despite 50, 60,000 games in this hot mess. Anyway, if you want to see the end of this battle, and it is pretty good, watch at the end after the Castilla. Well, it's not that good, but see how you go if you're bored. This is the most important early spotting thing, and there is a counter on the opposite side, but oftentimes no one goes there to that gap, and I'll show that in a second. You go to the hill, you climb up here, and you look for the early TDs. What you will often get here is American lights like Sheridans and that who want to do big alpha doses will go to the position where that object 268 is and try and fire back here. It's a risky proposition that often won't work, especially if you're in a corresponding light tank. And if they do that, that generally means you've won the hill anyway, so whatever. But it's something that you can do. You can put your heavy duty Sheridan over there. The reason that move there early is so important is because it spots the TDs. And if you spot the TDs and force them off that hill, you relieve all the pressure on your heavy tanks that are pushing behind the C-cap on the hill, and suddenly you have this weird thing called map control. Repeat after me. If you are under 60%, if you're under 70%, hell, if you're under 100%, map control. It's not always just about damage. And once you do that, you can do this weird thing where you can start moving things back and forth. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win, because obviously I managed to lose 2 heavies despite the fact that I'd already spotted the TDs, and I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they managed to do it, because if you see the tanks they died to, it was a Kranwagen and a TVP, and they took so much damage, and you just can't always stop people from dying. But these are the important things you can do. I have gun depression on the STB. That is important when you want to control the hill. If you don't have gun depression, you need to work the flat spaces and need to work back towards the heavy route. Your TDs are behind you. One of the problems with TDs on this map is quite often there are no shots for them and they don't move. Wargaming brought in a cap limit of 3 TDs per team. I don't know if you don't know this, but that's why there's never more than 3 blue tanks on your team, because maps, particularly like Castilla and Dead Rail, you would get 5 to 6 TDs all sitting along the back end of their spawn, and they would never move. And there'd be no one spotted up here, and all the TDs would still be sitting in a ring around the middle of the map. And it was a train wreck. Now, they're played better than us here, but you've noted I've been effective. I've been getting shots in. I've been spotting targets. I've been doing my level best to win the hill fight. And again, this is an old video. I've got heat on my STB, not premium AP, which just goes to show that this is quite old, but the actual style of gameplay never goes out of fashion. Being awesome never goes out of fashion. This position here, obviously, if you are a gun depression medium, that is a position you want to exploit. One of the problems I have with people is they try and exploit it so early in the game, and they don't always have gun depression, and they don't always have the turret to bounce shots regardless, and they haven't always spotted up where every member of the opposite team is. What happens there is people will go up there, and to get the shot down on the right, or to get the shot at the tank that is on the other side of this little bush, they will overexpose their drive wheel. They'll get drive wheel tracked there multiple times by clippers or just by multiple tanks, and they'll get cleared. They also get shot at by tanks who are down on ground level, but at the back. I mean, it's 1v6 now. You've done your best, but your best ain't good enough. yeah, I don't know where that went either, but it was a nice shot for all that. And we're going to get another free one here on the object. He does the right thing. He realizes that's happening. I'm very aware that there is a 183 coming up my back door here. And then I just get hit on the turn there as well. So not the best way of playing. This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Here comes the 183. Doesn't have the gun depression. Certainly doesn't have the turret for it. And we're just going to click him and put a whole lot of damage in. And again, and he can't get the gun down because we keep taking his drive wheel and he's burned through 2 kits and he's just going to have to burn through another one if he wants to win. And he doesn't have one. Patrick can only carry 2 kits. Bad luck for that guy. And we're going to die. Because what are you going to do? And you're still putting damage in. You're still using gun depression. You're still using everything. But yeah, people just don't always do the right thing. Anyway, let's have a look from the other spawn. Now, this is the standard way to go up the hill. You don't need an engine boost. If you're a medium tank, you should be able to get up here pretty comfortably. You don't need to go up the road. They changed this. Only a few tanks used to be able to do this, like a Leo 1, etc. But they've made it a lot easier, the incline. You can also go up left of me here. It doesn't really suit the point. This is the prime position on this side for lowish gun depression tanks or tanks that want to counter the early spotting from the other side. You'll see tanks that want to rush low around the front edge of the hill spawn will get spotted as they go through there. And that means your TDs, there you go, your TDs can actually bash them as they go around that edge, or your heavies can even get shots across. It's an important position because if you're a heavy on the hill and there is a medium tank spotting this little ridge and this little gap, you are not going to get shot, okay? Like you will if there's no tank here, because every time they try and push forward to get a nice shot on your safe position, they will get spotted and you can either return fire or someone's going to hit them. You don't need to have 10 degrees of gun depression over here, but it helps, right? It certainly helps. You've got to use the actual angles of the terrain to get your gun down. So don't just keep going higher to get this. The higher you go, the more likely you are to get hit. And you'll see how I'm always keeping the front of my tank in a position where I can't get shot by someone who is bridging that little gap early. You might be wondering why I'm the only tank here. You're not alone in wondering that. There are no other mediums in the game. It's just one of those things. A weird thing where they've double spawned meds on the other side and single spawn me here, and that's dictated the fact that I am running a lot more carefully up here than I would be otherwise. I don't have any support. If it was me, I would have pushed around in a double push, but see how that Leo keeps trying to get up there, and we just keep picking him up every time he gets spotted. He's like, every time he rolls up there, he's going to get spotted. That bush is somewhere mediums love to just loiter around in. And it can be very difficult, particularly if you've got auto aim on the mobile client, to get shots across from this position here into this position here. If you've got a decent turret and auto aim, it's difficult to line that up, and you're usually going to take one in return. It's just a very small reticle area. You know how I'm not even really pushing aggressively around this corner. I'm low, but I'm making sure that I'm staying under the gun line. There comes the Ho-Re. Can we get another one? Track him as he goes down. We get him. We don't get the track, but we do our best. There he comes, another 183. Man, they love it. They love it. They just love it. Can't blame him for having a crack. Gets 708 in the top of the turret, and then, for some reason, pushes forward. No, I'm not sure why either. Probably the bad move for the 183, because I know he's on a full reload. He knows he's on a full reload, and he did it anyway. They're low. They are getting pushed from behind, so that's probably why, and he's at least under my gun line now. So this is the heel of Castilla. This is the most important part of this map. It controls visually the entire map. You can move all over the place from here. You can stop pushes on the heavy route. You can spot TDs on either side. It's just a very, very tough place to push. If you are good enough to hold the hill, one of the key aspects is really taking care of your hit points. You've got to make sure that you take care of your hit points. If you if you spend too many hit points to get a shot, I mean, that's the negative, isn't it? Not only is it a great place to spot everyone from, if you are seen up there, everyone else can shoot you once you cross what they call the Rubicon. It's the river in the Roman Civil War. Anyway, you don't need to know about that, but if you step across a certain line, you're going to give shots to the opposition, to all of the opposition, particularly the TDs, and that is going to leave you in tatters, and it will bleed your hit points. And once you don't have enough hit points to trade efficiently, someone's going to say, well, I'd like a kill. I'd like a kill, and I'd like a kill now, and I'm going to push this T62A or something that's only got 1,000 hit points, and I know that I can trade him out if I get the first shot, and only take like half my hit points in return. It means we win a tank, and I get 1,000 hit points worth of damage. And that's, for a lot of players, that's enough of an enticement to get them rocking, rolling, and rumbling all through the Delta to the DMZ. Oh, get under that gun! No, that's bad news. Anyway, let me know what you think in terms of positions. I'm happy to do the rest of Castilla because there are certainly nuances to it. But it's like the hub of that map. It's one of those maps where center cap is actually worthwhile and makes a huge difference. The team that owns that hill, if you own it unopposed, you get to dictate terms. You know, it really is important. I find that the worst losses I have on Castilla is when the mediums or the lights go to positions where they are looking to farm damage either at the hill and not being on it, or, you know, in weird TD or heavy positions. And they're positions that make the team so much less effective in terms of map control, spotting, crossfire. If you don't have any crossfire going on Castilla, you're going to get screwed. That's what does the heavies in above that C cap most often, is they'll want to push forward and shoot someone who is just across the way, and they'll get hit from the hill on the side. Or they'll be trying to shoot the guy on the hill and they'll get tapped up by a TD from the back end or a heavy. And it becomes very much a situation where you need to monitor multiple reloads of multiple targets all in the same time. And that can be difficult. That can be extraordinarily difficult. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Stay safe on the battlefield. It turns out the Hellas game wasn't that exciting after all. And remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know. And I'll be hosting the North American finals this Sunday in A time. So I'll probably see you there. Au revoir, amigos. Bye for now.